Hello and welcome to the 2026 real estate shift. What we're going to talk about today is why most agents are struggling in today's market and how to build a consistent pipeline anyway. And for those of you that have maybe been in real estate for less than 5 years or even less than 10 years, you may not have experienced more than one or two market shifts. And I've been in real estate now since December of 2000, and I'm now considering, or I've considered, uh, based on my career, I've been through seven major market shifts really in the last 25 years. And so what we're going to talk about today is reality. What's actually going on in the market and how you can really thrive in today's real estate market. And the reason why is there are a lot of real estate agents getting out of the real estate industry, which creates a lot of opportunity for the agents that stay. And as we go through today's webinar, again, have a pen and notepad close by. Write down things that you feel are relevant to you. For every attendee that attends today, we're going to get you a copy of an ebook that's going to get emailed out to you as well. That's going to recap everything that we cover in the webinar. But what you want to be writing down today is the gold nuggets that apply to you and your specific business where you're at right now. Now, the opportunity in real estate, in our opinion, has never been better. And when we look at our growth and production as a company at Equity, right now we are up 10% this year over the exact same time last year. And even though we've been through some major market shifts since the pandemic ended, Equity has still had consistent growth year over year, where most companies are declining or frankly, they're just having to sell or merge with other companies because they can't stay viable or profitable, and they have to exit the business of the industry. And one of the things that I'm going to share with everybody right now, especially if you're an Equity agent, is Equity is financially sound. We are a company that's debt free. And because of that, we can really stand the test of time and be profitable, regardless of almost whatever happens in the market or the economy. And that, to me at least, gives me peace of mind. So I know that some attendees today might not be with Equity. You may not even know who Equity is, and that's okay. I'll get you my contact information at the end of this webinar. But one of the things that we do as a company is we serve regardless of the opportunity. To us. It doesn't matter what company an agent's with. We just want to level up the industry and see everybody do as best as they can in their business. But right now, what's happening is there is a shift in the real estate market that nobody can ignore. And the market just hasn't just slowed down. It's actually fundamentally changed. And agents right now, we're working harder. Some of us are closing fewer deals than we have before. We're facing slower decisions by home buyers and home sellers, and we're dealing with inconsistent pipelines. And over the course of the last several months, we've had the largest number of real estate contract cancellations in the history of real estate. And it has to do with consumer confidence, it has to do with interest rates, it has to do with uh, uncertainty in the market. But one thing that we do know about real estate is it is still the best investment that you can make long term for wealth. And we're not only building equity, we're building tax benefits. And believe it or not, if you're a homeowner and something goes sideways or wrong in your life, you have a much better chance of staying in your property much longer than if you're a tenant and you can't make a rental payment. So the benefits of home ownership still outweigh the benefits of being a tenant or renting hands down. Because we're doing more work, oftentimes we see fewer results. And because we do that, we get a little bit down on ourselves, we get hard on ourselves, and we get those thoughts that creep into our minds that maybe real estate isn't for me anymore. But I'm here to just share with you, be confident, and know that you are at the right place at the right time. I've not been this excited about real estate actually than I am right now in my whole career because we're kind of in a perfect storm that we haven't been in before. But as soon as you have that nautical compass that we're going to share with you today, and you know how to navigate the rough seas of real estate, you're going to be just fine. Today, we're going to talk about that constant cycle that a lot of agents have, and it's called inconsistency. And it's because if you're starting and stopping in your business all the time, you never really get momentum. And momentum becomes key in your business. A few challenges that a lot of the agents are facing right now is some months they feel strong and they're closing transactions, and other months they feel slow. And my role at Equity Real Estate is I'm the Director of National Growth and Development. And so all I do for my role is really agent attraction and agent development and business development. And when we look at agents in the marketplace, we can see their production. We know how many transactions that they're closing year over year. We can see if their business is up or down. In fact, in most cases, as a company, we know more about individual agents in the marketplaces that we're in than the actual agent knows about themselves. And if we know more about an agent and their business than they know about themselves, that's not a good thing. Because an agent needs to be running their business like a business, and they always need to know where they're at. Also, another challenge is a lot of agents are not sure where the next deal is coming from. Right now, a lot of their pipelines are empty, and we're going to be talking about pipelines today and how to fill those up. And also, if your pipeline feels inconsistent, a lot of that comes down to what your daily habits are in your business. It's what you're doing every day. It's your schedule that you're working. It's the number of people that you're talking to. It's a combination of a lot of different things, not just one thing. But again, we're going to cover that today. So here's what's actually causing the problem. And we've done a lot of research on this over the past almost 12 months. And the reason why is because the market continues to change and shift about every quarter. And right now, based on where we're at, we're in April of 2026, and it's Q2. And believe it or not, just about everything that the agents are doing in their business right now, they are not going to see a result until Q3 if their pipeline's empty. So we've got to fill the pipeline right now as fast as possible. And to fill your pipeline, you want to be focused on uh, relationships more than transactions. And the reason why is because research shows that over the past 12 months, 90% of all real estate transactions have been referral based. It's actually much more difficult right now to go out and get a cold contact or a cold lead and convert them, especially in the online lead space where we still have companies out there that are still trying to charge agents for leads that they're generating, whether it's on a per month payment basis or it's on a per lead conversion basis. We're just seeing a smaller number of those closed transactions. Also, because agents don't have the consistent pipeline, they're too focused on transactions, and we get it. You have to make money. Cash flow is king or queen in any business. And then a lot of agents have that inconsistent follow-up and outreach. And the reason why is we're, as agents, oftentimes we work really, really hard. We get a transaction under contract, and then it's taking everything that we have, all of our effort, all of our energy to get it across the finish line. But when we're so focused on getting that transaction across the finish line, what happens is all of the other activities that we need to be engaged in that produce income for us, those stop. And because those have stopped, once we get that transaction closed, we have that, uh-oh, where's my pipeline? And also right now, what's happening is there's messaging that no longer connects with today's clients. And the reason why is the demographic for both sellers and buyers has changed dramatically. Right now, according to the National Association of Realtors, the average seller of a home is 64 years old. The average buyer of a home is now 41 years old. Social media is not working on sellers. Most of the sellers that are in that age demographic, they're on limited social media. And if they are, it's probably Facebook. And the only thing they're interested in is going there and seeing photos of their friends and family. And so our outreach to these clients, whether they're a seller or a buyer, has to change. We have to go back to the basics. We have to pick up the phone. We have to get face to face, and we have to start sending direct mail again. But the direct mail that we send has to be personalized, or else they're not going to open the envelope. If it's a postcard and it's not personalized, you might have about a 7 to 10 second opportunity to actually grip that person to read the rest of your message. Right now, agents are very, very busy, and there's a difference between being busy and being productive. Most agents that are staying busy, they're not doing the work that actually creates results. They're like, I'm so busy in my business. It's like, okay, but what are you doing? And to be busy. Right now, top agents are staying focused on consistent conversations that turn into real opportunities. And part of that's going to come down to what's happening in our market areas. It's going to be education. It's going to be client events, and it's going to be personalized marketing messages that go directly to past clients, potential future clients, and friends and family of just not the people that you know, but of the other people that you know. We need to expand our networks in our markets and our community like we never have before. Right now, it's not actually about doing more. It's about doing what actually moves your business forward. And each and every one of you that are either in today's webinar or watching a replay on our YouTube channel of this webinar that we've uploaded so that everybody has access to over time, everybody is going to be in a different place and you're going to have different challenges. And we're going to help each and every one of you identify today one place that you're struggling the most. And that's the thing that we're going to focus on in Q2 to get it fixed. And then you're going to look at the next thing that you're struggling with heading into Q3, and you're going to work on that next challenge in Q3. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start to tweak or fix or move the needle in your business every quarter throughout the year. Now, if you're watching this later on in the year or maybe even next year, just do the best you can until the beginning of the next 90-day cycle. Don't wait for a whole quarter to come to an end before you start. Just start on the first of the next calendar month. Now, not everybody in real estate is actually struggling. I was talking with a real estate agent in our office yesterday, and they are actually having the very best year that they've had in over 15 years in real estate. They are actually just absolutely crushing it right now. But when I asked where their business was coming from, it was almost all by referral. Most top agents have made a shift by focusing on relationships first, staying consistently visible, and creating opportunities instead of waiting for them to come. And that's how they're adapting today's market. You have to get more involved right now than ever before. And I mentioned that a few moments ago, and that's join your real estate investment clubs, join your apartment owners association, join a BNI group, go to a meetup group. If you don't have any of these groups in your market area, start one, start a coffee club, start a book club, do something different to help you engage with people in your community that you don't know, that you've never met before. Consistency in real estate seems to be one of the biggest challenges. And consistency always comes from systems. And the acronym for system is save yourself time, energy, money. And if you don't have systems in your business is going to struggle. I think everybody would agree that McDonald's probably doesn't have really good food, but they do have a great system. So does Starbucks. I don't know about you, but In-N-Out Burger, I go there every Monday morning at 10 a.m. or sorry, 10:30 a.m. That's when they open here. I'm usually the first or second car in line. You can tell. Might need to do some sit-ups this week, but they have a great system. In today's market, predictable results don't happen by chance. Agents who stay consistent are the ones that are following a clear, repeatable process. And staying connected to your database, having intentional conversations, and turning relationships into opportunities is going to be key in your business. But showing up consistently and staying visible means the most. And in order to help you create consistent conversations and the results that we want to see happen in your business, because you're attending today's webinar, we're going to be providing you with an ebook that is called an 8651. And the 8651 ebook is going to show you a system on how to close 86 transactions in a year, working with the 50 people most likely to give you a referral, but you just have to commit to working that program 1 hour per day. And what that's going to do is it's going to solve some problems in your business. One, it's going to help you have consistent conversations with people that already know you, like you, and trust you. Also, it's going to create intentional follow-up because you're going to be talking to these individuals, at least 3 to 5 of them every single day on a daily basis. And it's also going to help you with your follow-up. Follow-up is crucial in your business. It's really interesting because most salespeople stop following up after the fourth phone call or contact. Yet most sales or commitments take place after the 8th to 12th contact. So most salespeople are throwing in the towel or stopping way too soon during the sale or engagement process with your clients or their clients. Also, again, staying visible is going to be key. When you consistently show up and you stay top of mind, when somebody's ready to make a move, you want them to think of you first. And if you talk to somebody and say, you know what, Randy, I'm thinking about making a move in about 6 months. If anybody tells you that, you need to be following up with them every 30 days because the human brain has an amazing way of working itself through complex thoughts or situations, and it will always find a way to speed things up. So whatever time frame anybody tells you, cut it at least in half or and break it up into just 4 simple contacts before that time frame ends. Now, what we're going to do right now is not something that we normally do during a presentation. And I'm actually going to stop my share right now. And you should be able to see me here on the screen. And we're all going to do an exercise together. And this is why I asked everybody to have a pen or pencil. And I always also ask that you have a full-size piece of paper. It can be blank or lined. Blank is actually better. But what we're going to do is we're going to identify some bottlenecks in your business right now. And then we're also going to find a way for you to solve those bottlenecks in your business. So what I'd like everybody to do is we're going to go back to art school from about first or second grade, and you're going to take your piece of paper and you're going to trace your left hand on your piece of paper. You're also going to add fingernails. And you can see by this tracing of my left hand, because I'm right-handed, my left hand is going to look way better than my right hand because I don't write with my left hand very often. Now, when we trace our left hand, what we're going to do is we're going to identify the 5 bottlenecks or what we call constraints in a real estate agent or a real estate broker's business. And this can apply to you on every single level, whether you're an individual or a solo agent, whether you're a team leader, or whether you're the broker owner of the company. The 5 bottlenecks or constraints is the same in every position. Now, on your left hand that you've traced, right next to your thumb, right above your thumbnail, write down the word lead generation. The first bottleneck or constraint in any real estate business, from an individual or solo agent level, team lead, or a company broker owner, becomes lead generation. Where does the business come from? The second, right next to your pointy finger, is the word conversion. And so conversion means different things. Conversion can be converting a warm or cold lead. It can also be converting that warm or cold lead into an appointment. And then it also means converting that presentation from a buyer or a seller into a ratified agreement that allows us to help sell their home or help them buy a home. The third finger on your left hand, right above that finger, write down time management. That's typically the third bottleneck or constraint that an agent experiences. The fourth is operational systems. And operational systems are your CRM, it's transaction coordination, and it can also be accounting and tax management. We just came through tax season, and I've had a lot of conversations with agents that unfortunately so far haven't filed their taxes this year, which everybody should be filing their personal taxes and business taxes on time every year. Even if you want to file an extension and pay later, that's fine. But everybody needs to know where they're at in their business from a financial benchmark standpoint. And then on your left hand, your pinky finger, write down business structure or team structure or brokerage structure, depending on what your role is in your business. Now, if you're an individual or a solo agent, right next to that, write the word leverage. Because if you're in business and you don't have a lot of support, we need to find a way to leverage the efforts of other people and get the non-income producing activities off your desk. If you're a team lead or a broker owner, instead of writing the word, not only writing the word leverage, because it does apply to you, write the word delegation. Because if you're the CEO of your team or your business, we have to be very, very proficient at delegation. If you're an agent that has an admin or a transaction coordinator or a team lead or a broker owner, write down staff skills and development. This is what helps us create leverage in our business. What we'd like you to do is where you've written down your fingernails on your piece of paper, we are going to score your bottlenecks right now for your individual business based on a scale of 1 to 5, and 5 is the best. So let's look at lead conversion and how would you rate yourself on lead generation in your business on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, 1 being the worst, and I really have to work on this. and be brutally honest with yourself. The next is conversion. On that conversion fingernail on a scale of 1 to 5, write down how you feel that you are at converting leads, appointments, and presentations when they come into your business. And you might be way stronger in one of these areas than another, but they all kind of go together. And the next is time management. On that time management thumbnail, write down how you feel you're doing on a scale of 1 to 5 when it comes to managing your time. And what that means is, are you sitting down every Sunday, looking at your calendar for the whole week, and then saying, okay, is my whole schedule filled out for the week on what I've committed to for prospecting, for appointments, and for networking? And then wherever I don't have a spot filled in, what am I going to fill that time slot with that is a money-making activity that's going to move the needle forward in my business? On that next finger, where it says operational systems, rate yourself on your operational systems on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest. And that's, again, your CRM, your accounting, your calendar. And then on your pinky finger, when it comes to your individual solo business, or it comes to your self as a team leader or a broker owner, go ahead and rate yourself on a 1 to 5 based on how you feel you're performing in your business. I recently went through this with an agent individually, and when we got all done, each thumbnail was a 1 or a 2 because they were really, really struggling in their business. Now, a lot of times agents are going to have some 3s, some 4s, and some 5s. If you have anything a 4 or above, do not focus on that right now. You only want to focus on anything on that bottleneck or constraints that is a 1 to a 3. And if whatever is a 1, that's what you want to work on between now and the end of Q2, like right out of the gate, starting today. And we're going to get you an email with some information that's going to help you solve each one of these bottlenecks. We're going to get you the 8651. We're going to get you my perfect week scheduler. And then we're going to get you the ideal time to build a team. Because believe it or not, if you're only a solo or an individual agent right now, you already have a team, whether you know it or not. And it's all of the people in our business that currently support our business. It's our title company, it's our home inspectors, it's our home warranty company, it's our mortgage broker, it's our home inspector. It's literally every person that helps support every portion of every part of the transaction is, believe it or not, on your team. And we're not only going to start to develop relationships with them that are a little bit different, that also generate business, but we need to try and leverage the efforts of those other people as much as possible. So that's the first part of the exercise. The second part of the exercise is this. You're going to now trace your right hand. Drawing's fun. And after you've traced your right hand, on this thumb, you're going to write the word clarity. On your second finger, your pointy finger, you're going to write the word context. On your third finger, you're going to write the word capability. On your fourth finger, you're going to write the word confidence. And on your pinky finger, you're going to write the word commitment. These are what we call the 5 C's in your business. The first exercise that we did was all about everything that we do in our business to do business. This next exercise has to do with everything that's going on between our ears, and this is mindset. And your mindset is actually more important than the actual things that we do in our business. There's a famous quote that says, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. And so, what we want to do is we want to see where you're at and find out where you're at in your business or how you feel, because a feeling or an emotion is different about your business right now. On that right hand, on that first thumb, put a thumbnail on there. And when it comes to clarity in your business, score your business on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, on how clear you are about your goals and your vision in your business. If you didn't do your business planning last year, now's a great time to do some business planning through the end of the year. And we'll start doing business planning this year with all of our agents in August and September. And on September 30th, throw a New Year's Eve party and start your year out October 1st. And you're going to have a full quarter, 90-day head start on every agent in the business in the industry. It's one of the best things one of my coaches and mentors ever taught me how to do. The next finger underneath context, a lot of times agents say, well, Randy, what does context mean? Next to that word context, write down the word problem solving. Because right now, there's problems in our business and our industry that we've never had to deal with before. And on a scale of 1 to 5, write down how you feel you do at solving complex problems in your business. Because if that's below a 4, if that's a 1 to a 3, you need to have a coach, a trainer, a mentor, a team leader, or a broker in your business that you can reach out to and ask a question about any problem in your business and have them help you solve it. Don't try and solve problems on your own. And because a lot of this is emotional, don't go to ChatGPT. ChatGPT answers unemotional questions. A lot of what we do in our business as real estate agents and brokers, almost everything that we do when we interact with a client is emotional. That's why AI will never replace us, is because when people buy and sell homes, it's emotional. Number 3 is capability. Write down on a scale of 1 to 5 how capable you feel at succeeding in your business in 2026. If there's a gap or something missing, if you need some training, if you need an enhanced skill set, if you need a new designation, we need to work on that. And then the 4th finger on your right hand is confidence. Write down on a scale of 1 to 5 how confident you feel in your business right now. And when times get tough, and they do get tough, confidence is the first thing that typically drops, especially if you're getting feedback or you're getting advice from anybody outside our business or industry that's not willing to pay your monthly bills. Don't listen to them. Listen to your broker, listen to your coach, listen to your mentor. Listen to somebody that has skin in the game, and success in their business relies on success in your business. And then the pinky finger on the right hand, write down the word commitment. Right now, how committed are you to your business and your success on that scale of 1 to 5? I had a conversation a little while back with a friend of mine in Colorado. He's been a broker for a long time. And at the end of last year, we had a conversation and I said, "Man, how are you doing?" And he said, "I'm burned out. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I don't know if I have the effort, the energy, or the commitment to do this much longer." And if you're lacking a little bit bit of commitment, if you're doing the hokey pokey, where you have one foot in and one foot out, but you don't know what you're going to do, turn yourself around and get right back in, and let's get back in the game. Because right now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, we have an opportunity that we haven't had in a long, long time. And that's agents that we're only going to buy and sell homes for themselves or help their friends and family. They're exiting and leaving the business and the industry because it doesn't make financial sense for them. But the agents that have enhanced skill sets, they are 100% committed, they are focused, and they have a plan. They are going to thrive not just in 2026, but rates will come down and the market will shift again. And it's going to create an opportunity for everybody to make more money because price points are higher. That doesn't mean you have to sell more to make more, but it's going to position you to be more referable, and it's going to establish you as an industry expert like never before. Now, I'm going to jump back really quick and share my screen for just a moment. Give me just 1 second here. So we talked about why agents are struggling. We've identified some specific things for you and your business that you can be working on right now. And again, reach out to your broker, team lead, a mentor, a coach. But I'm also going to show you how to reach out to me. And what we want to do is we want you to go from uncertainty to consistency as fast as possible. When somebody says to me, my pipeline's empty, it's not a lead generation problem, it's a prospecting problem. And we don't need better markets, and you really just need a better system. If you don't have a CRM, let's get one right away. Let's implement the 8651 and my perfect week schedule. And if you're at a company right now that is a split traditional type company, right now may be a good time to move to a set fee company, which is 100% commission like equity, and start keeping more of your hard-earned income so that we can take some of that income and reallocate it towards marketing and events. And at equity, we focus on a culture of productivity. When somebody says to me, Randy, who is equity? What does equity mean? We've determined that equity, described in 2 words, is empowered freedom. And what that means is we empower all of our agents with all the systems and all the tools that they need to be successful in their business, including the training. But we give them the freedom to build their business any way they want and any pillar of income that they want. And if you need help on building your business, building a pipeline, and really developing yourself in any market, reach out to us. We want you to stop starting over and start building forward. So we want to talk to you. On the screen, I'm going to give you my direct phone number. You can call or text me at this number. It's 801-573-4935. You can also email me, randy@equity-usa.net, or you can scan that QR code. You can schedule a 15-minute phone call with me, a 30-minute web meeting, or a 1-hour web meeting, and we will talk confidentially about your business. We will identify what your constraints or bottlenecks are in your business, or we'll look at the 5 C's to see where you're at on an emotional or a feeling level in your business. And regardless of where you're struggling or what you need help with, we will help you, because our goal is to help you increase your productivity, increase your income, but more than that, improve your lifestyle. A mentor and a coach of mine had a very profound statement during a coaching web meeting one day, and it was, don't build a business that supports your lifestyle, build a lifestyle that supports your business. And here at Equity, that's exactly what we want you to help you do. Thanks again for joining us today. It's been a pleasure to share this information. As always, if you found this valuable, please share it with other agents that you know. And if you need help and you don't reach out to us, we can't help you. And that's exactly what we're here for. Everybody go out, be powerful, be productive, and be safe. We'll see you on another upcoming webinar soon. Bye-bye.